Welcome to the Kell Brook media call. We are just over 4 weeks away from the fight that we've all been waiting for on February 19th. How are preparations going? You're obviously out there in Fuerteventura. How's camp?
I'm over the moon with how camp's going. This is probably the longest we've stayed out in one block. Normally on training camps out here, we'll do 2 week blocks and fly back, and then fly back over. But we will have been out here by six weeks by the time we're looking at going back, and I think that's been great for us. Because it's just that we've got a routine out here. We're all together. We're all in a villa. We're all just 1 minute away from the gym. A couple of minutes away from the track. Everything, we know where everything is. We've been coming here that long, so we're just getting the hard work and the recovery, and it's running smoothly as it can be.
This fight's been a long time coming, but I'm guessing the objective's always been the same. What's it going to take to beat Amir Khan?
Well, it's going to take just me being 100%. Me being the best I can be, beats Amir Khan. And I'm more than on target on achieving me 100%. So I'm excited, to see the finished article of myself, in February 19th.
It's quite a personal fight for you. How are the emotions building up to the fight?
That's a good question. I'm not gonna lie. I can't just box them up, because there's all them years of me and him this fight not happening. I don't know if you've seen, when I won the world title in California, the guy interviewed me. We're asking about Amir Khan as soon as I walked out and I won the world title, and I looked down the TV, the camera lens, and I said, what else do you want me to do? I've just become world champion. What's your excuse this time? So it's not that I've been chasing. It's more about the sport I'm in. And I wanna leave this sport with the biggest fights and the best fight for the fans. And I've achieved, being in with a pound for pound best. I've become world champion, but I've never had a grudge match. I've never had that bad blood. I've never had this kind of a fight, and I think that it will have ticked all the boxes what I need in my career. It's going to be hard to put them to one side, but I've got to be, I've had 40 something fights, and I've just got to, use my experience, from Brendan Ingle, from when I first walked into the Winkerbank gym at 9-year-old, and just take it all in and just listen to his son Dominic Ingle, and just go over the game plan over and over in these weeks to build up for this fight, and just execute it the best way I can, and try and tame them, them emotions basically, and just go out there and deliver what I'm supposed to do.
As you just said, it's obviously 4 weeks out. You've achieved pretty much everything that there is to achieve in the sport. What would it mean to you to win this fight against Amir Khan?
Yeah, it mean everything to me, just because I can't. When I see people, I see fans. That's all they ask when you're fighting him. Now they don't really say that anymore. They say, how's training going? Because they've got a date, February 19th. So they don't need to say when you find him. We know the date now. So, I think it'll mean absolutely. I think it'll be the best out of my career. Just because people can't split us, and it's a fight that it's hard to split in the fans' eyes, but it'll mean absolutely everything to me. Being Khan.
Last one from me before I open up to the media. Why does Amir keep saying he's a level above?
He's saying that because of the deluded character, the deluded man. He believe in the guys, the yes men behind him. And he's believing, he's believing, what they're saying basically. And he's in cuckoo land, and he's gonna know real quick when that bell rings that he's in cuckoo land, when I'm like chucking leather at him.
Right, I think that wraps it. Thank you everyone for attending. Kell, thank you for taking the time out answering all the questions. I'm sure we'll get more opportunities to speak to you over the next few weeks. Have a good time in camp, work hard, and we'll see you on fight night.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thanks.
Okay, welcome to the Amir Khan Media Call. Amir, you're across the pond in America, in the Crawford camp. How are preparations going?
Yeah, I mean, training camp and preparation is going really, really well. See, I remember when I first come here, it was back about 3 months ago when I first thought, let me see if I like training here, if I'm gonna get on with the team. And it was so hard. Like we were training twice a day, every day. We had no days off. The only day off you have is on a Sunday, but you still have to run up a massive mountain or you have to do some steps and stuff. And I thought, how am I going to deal with this? Because my body's getting old. I'm getting a bit older. I'm 35. I'll be 35 then. And how am I going to deal and cope with this? But to be honest with you, I mean, it's made me realize that how special our bodies are. I mean, look, one thing about my body is that I'm so much stronger now, so much fitter. The training that I was scared to get into is now so easy for me. Like, I don't think twice about it. This morning, I was up at 8 o'clock today, went for a swim, did a really hard swim session. In a couple of hours, I'm going back in the gym again, doing a boxing session. I've been sparring. And one thing here that I do differently is to do 4-minute rounds of training. So you don't do a normal 3-minute round of sparring. To do 4-minute rounds of sparring, which is still at the highest level, and you're still with a high work rate, working hard. At the same time, you only have 30 seconds break in between. So, like, as soon as you do the 4-minute round, you walk to the corner, boom, it's time to go back out again. So it's really good. It's made me realize, you know, where you can take your little breathers, where you can take your little breaks. And it's what I love about it as well is that what BOXXER's done is he's bought a lot of these young fighters, like 24, 25-year-old fighters, even 26 is another fighter. He's bought them to train with me, to push me when I'm running, when I'm swimming, when I'm sparring. I've got young sparring partners who, you know, who are strong and try to take my head off. And honestly, like, you know, these guys are a lot younger than me. They're fresher than me. I'm 35. Now, even me, at times, I was thinking, I might be a bit too old. You know, I might be getting on a bit. I don't think I'll have the energy. But to be honest with you, I'm the one who's outrunning these guys. I'm out sprinting these guys. I'm out doing a lot more rounds than them. I'm the one who's staying in the ring doing 4 or 5 rounds with one guy. Then another guy jumps in, and I'm still outboxing the guys who are coming in fresher. So, you know, I'm very amazed. I mean, I didn't think I had this much in me. But come fight night, Feb 19th, obviously I'm going to be more than ready. I honestly have to say I'm probably in one of the best shapes I've ever been in. And to train this hard over here is only giving me more confidence.
Sounds like being in the Crawford camp is doing you the world of good. There are different ways of winning fights. What are the important things that you'll have to do in order to get the nod against Kell Brook?
I think I have to just fight at my own fight at my own ability. Use my speed, my power, my timing, my movement, and everything else. And, you know, also what I've learned here, what I'm learning here. See, I was here when I was here for the first 4 weeks, I remember doing sparring with Crawford. So we sparred with Crawford, and it's quite funny because obviously BOXXER said, listen, guys, get your gloves on. You're going in with Crawford today. And I'm like, really? So anyway, stepped in the ring, and I mean, I had a little joke with Crawford. I go, this is not something new to us. I mean, we've done this before. But when we sparred, it was a full-on sparring session. And obviously Crawford just come off that win against Sean Porter. So really, he was still fit and fresh. We did amazing 4 rounds of sparring. I swear, like, I felt so good in there. And BOXXER come over to me afterwards and said, hey, Crawford come over to me in the office and said, Amir's looking really good. And so far out from the fight. You see, I mean, I don't like you saying this or talking about this, but when I went into the Crawford fight, I had a lot of injuries going into that fight with my elbow and everything else. I couldn't really throw the right hand. And with sparring with him this time, I know it's not like a fight because you're wearing bigger gloves and everything, but I did really, really well. And to get the nod off Crawford and from BOXXER to say that, wow, you're looking amazing. You're looking in great shape. Your fitness is on point. Your punch rate, your power, everything is on point. So I can only imagine that. Look, come fight night, I'm going to be more than ready. I'm going to be in better shape. I've never seen a six pack 6 weeks out of a fight. This time I've seen it. This time, whereas I do have to say that I did put on a lot of weight when I was traveling and I was back in the UK. Like, and I'm glad one thing I am glad I've done, and this is maybe a little bit of advice to other young fighters out there, is that training between fights. So throughout the whole COVID time, I was training, and I'm glad I did that, because that only got me fit and strong. So when I came into training camp, I wasn't focused on losing weight. I was more focused on technique and strength and power.
This is a grudge match, you know, a fight between two people that have got a past and don't necessarily like each other. Emotionally, do you attack this fight differently? What is it like leading up to the fight with your emotions?
With the emotion, look, it's like any other fight. You're going to go in there and you want to hurt the guy. But with this fight, I think it's only made me, I have to be on my A game. I can't make any mistakes in this. I cannot afford to lose this fight. And it's not pressure. I think that's only going to bring the best out of me. And I know for a fact that I have to make sure that I go in there and I do everything push perfect. That's one of the reasons I came out here. I knew it was going to be hard. I knew I was going to be pushed. Look, I know for a fact that if I went back with Virgil Hunter, I could still beat Kell Brook. But I needed to make sure with 100% and how I stamped, I'm going to knock this guy out, beat Kell Brook in good fashion. That's why I came out here to Omaha and came out to Colorado Springs, because I know that the way these guys are going to train me is going to be so brutal, and I'm going to make sure I'm in the best condition ever.
Yeah. Last one from me before we open to the media. You've often said that you're a level above Kell. How do you go in with that confidence that you're a level above him, but not the complacency that can come with sometimes thinking you're a level above someone?
Yeah, I'm not going to go into a fight thinking that I'm being complacent, because that's where I've made mistakes before. You see, I'm older now. I'm more experienced now, where I know not to even think about stuff like that. I'm a better fighter. I'm quicker. I'm stronger. I'm beating better fighters. That doesn't matter. Look, it's boxing where one punch can change a fight. It's happened to the best of us. So I have to make sure that I go in there with the right game plan. I have to be smart in there, and I have to just give my boxing lesson. So that's what it's all about. Me getting complacent, thinking or being too overconfident, that'll never happen now, because I'm at that age now where I can't afford to make any mistakes.
Let's open it up to the media. Matt, who will we pick? I think that's where we'll wrap it. Apologies if you didn't get to ask a question. We'll have plenty more opportunities to speak with Amir over the next few weeks. Amir, anything you want to say to Kell?
Look, you know, I don't like speaking and saying I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, but I think come fight night, you know, I think I will definitely earn that respect from him. I know he keeps saying he's got no respect for me, and you know, for me, obviously, I was at the stage where when we used to have that talk, there was talks about me fighting him, and it was more banter for me. It was because I knew that I was with a different promoter, the fight would not happen. I was campaigning in America. So I just said, yeah, you know, it could happen one day, but I don't want to fight him. He has to do this. I mean, look, it's happening now. The main thing is happening now. And with all that talking he's been doing for years, saying that he wants to fight me, this is a time for him to show and prove that why he wanted that fight.
Amir, good luck with the rest of your camp. We'll catch up soon. I'll see you in fight week.
I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thanks.
Good luck.
Take care.